Hello, welcome to the show. Now, the property market can seem a wee bit like the good old British weather, tricky to predict and somewhat changeable.
Yes, but one way to reduce the stress of it all is to do your preparation. And a place you might consider heading down to find some very interesting property options is your local property auction. Well, auction lots come in all sorts of shapes and sizes, from tiny flats to plots of land.
From, I kid you not, former public toilets to former banks.
Yes, you can get them all, and we've seen them all on this show. So what's up for offer on today's Homes Under the Hammer? Let's have a look.
I'm in Edinburgh to check out this one-bed flat. It turns out that uninhabitable means you've got a shell of a property here. In Newcastle-Under-Lyme, Tommy is faced with a conundrum.
And what we got here? What's this? This can't be the third bedroom.
And this house with an adjoining cottage in Carlisle has me jumping with excitement. I have the air of a small child who just wants to see more. All these properties have been sold at auction, and we'll find out who bought them and what they paid for them when they went under the hammer. Sold. We're in the Scottish capital, Edinburgh, known as Auld Reekie, a nickname given to the city when smoke pollution dominated the landscape in the 17th century. The property we're going to see is in the bustling west end of Haymarket. The area has great potential for investors, as there's a £350 million project ongoing to create a new business district. A promising start for this lot. As locations go, this one is pretty handy because we're around half a mile from Haymarket Station, a mile and a half from Waverley Station, so within walking distance to both, and you've got all the amenities of the West End pretty much on your doorstep. And we're in Edinburgh on a beautiful sunny day, so I'm happy. Here's today's property. It's a one-bed ground floor flat in this traditional tenement building, and it came with a guide price of £110,000. Now, the not-so-good news is that the auction catalogue describes it as being currently uninhabitable. Let's find out what that means. Well, it turns out that uninhabitable means you've got a shell of a property here. OK, let's start with this front room. It's a good size, terrific proportions. It looks quite solid. You also have double glazed windows. They look in good condition, and that'll save on your budget. Not just that, but they're sash windows. So really in keeping with an old tenement building, and yet they're also double glazed. So it gives you a barrier from that road and all the noise. Somebody's made a stab at plastering and paintwork over the years, but this is your chance, having a flat like this, to put your stamp on it and really make it sing.
Sing, sing, sing. For the love you bring won't mean a thing unless you sing, 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 sing.
Then you have a bathroom, or what could be a bathroom. Currently, you've just got a toilet there. All the floorboards are up where a bath or a shower has once been. Through to another big room. Now, there are only two big rooms in this property. I'd say this is where you would have your reception, kitchen, diner, because you've got an alcove which would perfectly suit having a kitchen, albeit quite small. So you can see that everything really needs done here. Pluses, let's see what you do have. You do have central heating. You want to get it checked over by a qualified heating engineer. Likewise, the boiler, which looks pretty new though. And because you don't have a working bathroom or kitchen, you may struggle to get a mortgage here, and it may only be open to cash buyers. Plus side is, it's a bit of a blank canvas, and you could make it really nice.
You know
This is a solid lot with no major concerns for a potential buyer. It's a good size and benefits from high ceilings, traditional with Scottish tenements. Plus, there's outside space. At the back of your property, you've got a big communal area, or should I say communal areas. Some are fenced off, some are open. This one here is lovely. It's like a little allotment. There's plenty of room for the kids to play. You could have a barbecue. It's not entirely clear which section would belong to you or which you would share. You also want to find out who maintains this, who's responsible for maintenance. You will bear a cost of that. How much? How much will you be responsible for when it comes to the repairs of the building too? This is why it's really important to, you know what I'm going to say, read the legal pack.
Read all about it. Oh.
There's a small space at the front of the property which is overgrown, but if cleared, a buyer could look to utilise this area. But what will an expert think of this one-bed ground floor flat? We've invited one along from the auction house that sold this lot to get their thoughts and valuations.
In my opinion, this would be a terrific investment property. There's a number of flats done up in this area which, when done to a high standard, are extremely popular. This flat would be ideal for students, with just the location being halfway between town and the universities. It may also suit a professional couple if it's done to a high standard.
What work does he think needs to be carried out?
So it would require a full new kitchen put in, new bathroom, shower, all walls painted, carpets, full refurbished from top to bottom, really.
And how about those all-important valuations? Renovated, what does he think this lot could achieve on the rental market?
Realistic rental value for a property like this would be around about 900 to 950 per calendar month.
And if the work was carried out to a good standard, what would its sales value be?
On completion, in my opinion, this property would sell for around about £160,000 to £165,000.
I know, this flat doesn't look like much at the moment, and it needs an awful lot of hard work to bring it up to scratch. But what you do have is a spacious, bright, one-bed flat, and it's right in the heart of Edinburgh. It does have a lot going for it. Let's find out who wanted to make it sing when it went under the hammer. This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Third and final time.
With the successful bid of £117,000, this one-bedroom ground floor flat was bought by Amir. He's a property developer and has his own letting agency business. This is his first buy at auction, so let's hope he's happy with his purchase. Hi Amir, pleased to meet you.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
You got yourself a property?
Yes, correct.
What's this for? Is it for you? Is it to do up?
So the reason why we've bought this property is for investment purposes, to renovate then rent.
Who's we?
So we is me and my business partner. So we own a number of properties in our portfolio, and we tend to buy, sometimes we buy them ready, sometimes we buy them like this.
Are you an Edinburgh boy?
Yes, I am. Born and bred. I was born in Leith on Easter Road. I was raised in Edinburgh, went to school in Edinburgh. I actually live just 5 minutes away now at the West End. So this flat's very handy to check in on the project and everything like that.
Being from Edinburgh, you'll have a real handle on various areas.
Yes.
What's going to be good for your rental portfolio. So why this flat in this area?
Right, OK, so this flat in particular was of great interest. There's a large commercial development just a couple of minutes away, where a lot of national companies are moving in there. So there's going to be a high rental demand, which is obviously an increase in the local population. Also, the Edinburgh trams go very close by, which will help with any demand from tenants.
It's a cracking location.
Yes.
And how long have you been renovating flats?
I bought my first flat when I was 24, so you could say about 8 years.
Goodness, you started young. And you're still young.
Yes, well, thank you.
It's true. Talk me through the plan here. Let's start with the layout.
So we're going to keep it a nice open plan living room kitchen. We want to make it as, technologically advanced as possible. LED lighting, so it's low cost and energy bills for the tenants.
So the alcove that you've got, is that going to house the kitchen?
Yes, that's correct.
And it's quite small as a kitchen, but you think you can
Yes.
get everything, all your appliances?
Absolutely. What we do is a little bit different to anybody else's. We're now putting the washing machine in the bathroom, so we're almost making it like a little utility area in the bathroom.
So you've got your kitchen stroke diner,
Yes.
big old TV,
Yeah.
a big bedroom.
Yes, absolutely, with an inbuilt wardrobe, so we'll make storage within the area. We are thinking of putting in a home working area within the bedroom, but we're still working on that at the minute.
And what else is on your to-do list, Amir?
Other than that, we're going to raise the ceiling in the kitchen area. That comes further down than the living room, so we'll take that up and we'll replaster the whole house. We're going to rewire the whole house. Obviously, the new plumbing and everything else will be brand new.
Okay, it's going to have a real sleek, modern feel, I can tell.
Yes.
Outside, there's
Yes.
a lot of communal area or areas. It's not obvious which is yours.
That you're right in saying that. So at the back, it's completely communal, which means it's a shared responsibility of all the owners in the block. So for us as owners, we're absolutely fine to contribute to any shared costs here. However, at the front, we do have a private garden, which we're really looking forward to tidying up for the new tenants.
It is small, and also there's no access to it just now, unless you get out your front window, which I suppose you could.
It doesn't seem that there's any access, but there actually is. On the left-hand side to the garden, there is actually a gate. It's behind all the trees. We've discovered that, which is great.
Fantastic. And although it is small, it's your own, and that's
Yes.
the benefit, I guess, of being on the ground floor.
Absolutely.
What's your budget here, Amir?
We have budgeted £16,000 to do the full renovation. We work with a preferred contractor. He's very, very good. Our last project went over by 10%, so we're hoping within 16,000 there or thereabouts, we should be absolutely fine.
How long is this going to take?
I think this will take us 8 weeks from today.
You have a lot to do in 8 weeks. Is that somebody starting tomorrow and committing full time?
Yes, so we actually have the guys starting on site tomorrow, that's correct.
How many renovations have you done?
I would probably say renovations about 12.
Okay, no problem. I mean,
I hope not.
to me,
hope not.
it seems ambitious, but you've done it before. It's tried
Yes.
and tested.
Yes,
I wish you the very best of luck.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amir.
thank you.
Amir has done it all before, and he seems to think this will be a straightforward renovation job to get his property ready for the rental market. I love that he has a few really modern ideas to make it stand out from the crowd. So will he stick within budget? Will it be as easy as he thinks? There's only one way to find out. Grab yourself a cup of tea and find out later in the show. We are in the charming, vibrant market town of Newcastle-Under-Lyme, home to more than 80 stalls at the historic market, which dates back to 1173. The town also has great transport links for commuting in all directions, but right now we're headed in the direction of our next property.
The property I'm here to see is very close to the centre of town. It's also just a stone's throw away from the Newcastle-Under-Lyme College, so it's very popular with both students and staff. And this is the property. It's a 3-bedroom mid-terrace house with a guide price of £75,000. Let's go inside and see what you get for your money. Perfect. Well, this is a nice room. If anything critical, it's a bit on the small side. No damp. It's got central heating, but the pipes have been fitted surface. That's a shame. Something going on with the floor because I can feel it, it's dropped over on this side, but it feels solid, so that's a good thing. The staircase runs up the centre of the house, so that's why you've got a cupboard there under the stairs. There's the entrance, takes you up. And you're into the second reception room, the back one. And this is a nice size, big room, this. The ceiling's in a bit of trouble. It's a lath and plaster ceiling, and it has been over-plastered with a decorative plaster, and that needs to come out because that may contain asbestos. So that needs to be renewed, take the ceiling down and replace it. Now, on into the kitchen. This looks a bit tired and dated. And they've got condensation problems here. There's not enough airflow. So it's good that they've got double glazing, but you need to open the windows. And this double glazed unit is broken down, so that needs to be replaced. And you've got a bit of dry rot as well, cheeky dry rot down here at the bottom of this column. I wonder whether it's gone right the way through. Yes, so it's both sides. So all the skirtings have to come off, treat for dry rot, and then replace everything. Now this is a vented lobby for a bathroom on next to a kitchen. Again, this is showing condensation issues. It's really beyond salvage, this one, so you want to rip this out and renew this with a nice stylish bathroom. Yeah. A little bit of work to do, but not the end of the world. Patio's seen better days. Let's have a look in here. Another cupboard. Oh, storage cupboard, boilers in there. It could be incorporated as part of the main building, but there's quite a lot of work to do that for a small bit of space. Now, coming down here, so this could all be cleared and this make a nice step terrace, then with a big, long garden to go with it. This could turn out to be a real nice space. Yeah, lovely. I think it's starting to rain, so maybe it's not quite so lovely today.
It's fair to say the downstairs of this property is a tad worn out and needs new life breathing into it. Let's see what shape upstairs is in.
Steep stairs, but that's common. This is a standard, you know, size bedroom for this type of house. Although that's not an original wall, that's a stud wall. And someone's used decorative plaster on the wall and on the ceiling. I wonder why that's there, though. Whether they've shortened this room. Hopefully it'll all become clear. Anyway, this bedroom's not bad. You get away a bit of work to be done on it.
Bedroom 2 also comes with a stud wall covered in decorative plaster, which creates the very strange and dark corridor leading to bedroom number 3. I think.
And what we got here, what's this? This can't be the third bedroom. In actual fact, that looks like the wall in the main bedroom, the master bedroom, the first wall that we had a look at. So at one time, this must have been all one room, and someone's put that up to create this space. Very strange. Don't know what that's all about. And this must be the original third bedroom, so you would have walked through the master bedroom to get into this room. What this needs is all the walls taken out and then reconfigured properly. That's what it needs. I can't... What was I thinking? I can't get my head around this.
The layout of this house is a bit of a head-scratcher, so we've asked along an expert from the auction house who sold this lot to see what he makes of it.
The property's in what I would refer to as a tired state. It has most of the normal things you would expect, like central heating, double glazing, but would benefit from refurbishing with a new kitchen, a new bathroom, and maybe just check out things like the wiring to make sure they're okay.
Is there any scope here for this property to be anything other than a 3-bedroom house?
I think the property is large enough to convert into 2 flats. However, access to the first floor and size of rooms, it doesn't lend itself easily to that type of conversion.
With that being said, if the property were to be kept as a 3-bed, what could the potential returns be?
Once the property's been modernised, if they intend to sell it on, then I feel it will achieve in the region of £125,000 to £130,000. However, if they decide to keep it and rent the property out, I feel it would achieve in the region of £650 per calendar month.
Well, it's a nice little house. Plenty of work to be done here. Downstairs is fairly predictable, all bog standard. Upstairs, that's a completely different kettle of fish. I still can't get my head around it. Let's see who fancied the challenge and solving the quiz when it went under the hammer.
This lot was part of a remote auction with bids taking place online.
Then in that case, 1, 2, 3, and gone.
The successful bid of £97,500 was made by Indy, who saw the potential in this property. He used to own his own bus company, but he's now made the leap into full-time property development.
First of all, Linda, can I congratulate you on your purchase of this lovely little house?
Thank you, Tommy. Thank you very much.
And can I ask you what made you choose this house?
It was the location mainly. Location is close to the university, close to the town centre, and is close to the hospital as well. So, and plus the price was right. So, you know.
Very important, yeah.
Yeah, so all
it's the perfect place then.
Ticked.
You got all the...
Yes.
For marketing and for investment, you couldn't do better.
Yeah. Whether to rent or to sell it on, it'll work both ways.
Oh, that was good. And have you got family that are going to help you with this? Sons and daughters are useful?
I have, but they're young yet. They wouldn't be helping me. I've got 2 daughters and a son. They'll probably come and wreck the place. No.
Yeah, maybe you call them the demolition squad.
Yeah. I'll bring them in with sledgehammers and stuff like that. Because we need to knock that partition wall out upstairs.
Yes, that'll have to go.
Yes.
Don't remind me, I don't want to be thinking about it.
I know, yeah. I'm feeling dizzy myself thinking about it.
And your wife?
My wife, her name's Kamalji. She's obviously busy with her work, so it'll be mainly myself, my friends, and the tradesmen who'll be going.
Right, that's good. So you've got a team behind you.
I know a few people, yes. So my plans to do with this property is, well, we've got 2 plans. I've got a meeting with the consul tomorrow, the planning officer. I'm trying to convert it into 2 2-bedroom flats because we've got alleyway running next to the house, so which is a benefit that we can have entrance for 1 flat at the back, 1 from the front. That's plan A. If he fails, then we will just refurb it to a good standard as a 3-bedroom house. And
For sale or for letting?
It's for sale, yes.
For sale?
Yeah, it might change depending on the valuation what we get from the bank. But my first plan is to sell it, yeah.
But I have to admit that upstairs actually has done my head in a bit. I can't work out.
It has, yes.
The configuration up there. No. It's just really, really strange.
I was lost up there. I had to be rescued to bring back down.
Yeah, it's almost as bad as being out in the jungle out the back there, isn't it?
Oh, yes.
Indy plans to tidy up the back garden, and whichever direction he goes in with this property, he will renovate it to a good modern standard, making sure to get rid of the dry rot and damp spots throughout. His plan A is to turn the property into 2 2-bed flats, which will feature open-plan kitchen living areas, and his budget will be £30,000 to £40,000. Plan B is to keep it as a 3-bed house and sell it on, but he's also open to Plan C, which is to rent it out. The layout upstairs would be completely overhauled, and his budget would be £10,000 to £20,000.
So I understand what you want to do. If you get the permission that you want for the 2 2-bedroom flats,
yeah.
How long do you think it will take you, once you get permission, to actually carry out the work?
Once we get the permission, then it should take a couple of months after that.
What, to convert this into 2 2-bedroom flats? Just a couple of months?
Yeah, it should, because once we got the services fitted and everything separated and that, it should be quite straightforward after that.
Yeah. I can see you've got the bug. I can see when you talk about it, all your eyes light up. So.
Of course.
Well, I want to wish you the best of luck. I'm sure you won't need it. I'm sure everything will go swimmingly for you. But I hope it all works out and you get what you wish for.
Yes. Fingers crossed.
I'm sure it will.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Tommy.
Cheers.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Sometimes these renovations and these conversions are simple. And in this case, what's it going to be? Plan A, flats. Plan B, going to be a resale. Or Plan C, a rental. He's got to make a decision, so what's it going to be, A, B or C? You can find out later in the show.
Coming up, I have truly fallen in love with this lot in Carlisle.
Up some gorgeous stone stairs. Everything here is gorgeous.
And Indy has the thumbs up, but for which plan?
So after speaking to the local authorities, they gave a go-ahead straight away. They said, yeah, there'll be no problem.
Back to Edinburgh now, and this one-bed ground floor flat guided at £110,000. The good news was that it was in a fantastic location, but
The not so good news is that the auction catalogue describes it as being currently uninhabitable. Let's find out what that means.
inside, the flat has been stripped back to its bare bones, and although a blank canvas, there was a lot to do here to make it livable once more.
Let's see what you do have. You do have central heating. You want to get it checked over by a qualified heating engineer. Likewise, the boiler, which looks pretty new though. And because you don't have a working bathroom or kitchen, you may struggle to get a mortgage here, and it may only be open to cash buyers.
Letting agency owner and property developer Amir bought the place for £117,000. With plenty of experience under his belt, he wasn't afraid to get stuck in, and he had big plans to bring this old tenement into the modern age.
We want to make it as, technologically advanced as possible. LED lighting, so it's low cost and energy bills for the tenants.
Amir thought with a budget of £16,000 and a timescale of only 8 weeks, he could get the one-bedroom flat ready for the rental market. Well, we're back bang on 8 weeks later to find out how he's got on. The overgrown front garden might still be a bit tight to sit out in, but the bushes have been chopped back, allowing sunlight to flow inside. The dark, dingy hall is now bright and welcoming. The bedroom has been plastered with new contrasting flooring, and clever built-in storage has been added. The unusable bathroom is now brand spanking new, with lovely finishes. And a utility area too. The living room has had a makeover with matching flooring throughout. And there's now plenty of lighting. The boiler has been built in. And that messy alcove is now an open-plan kitchen. Complete with stainless accessories and modern subway tiling.
It's really important to make the space very homely, bright, positive, and I believe we've done that and showcased that. The first thing I wanted to do was tidy up the garden. It was all overgrown, there was concerns, there was a lot of mess left in the garden. So the first thing I did was get somebody in there to cut it right back and clear it, and then we've sort of tidied it right up. It's really, really important now with any accommodation that we offer storage space. So it was imperative that we made that big built-in wardrobe in the bedroom that allows the tenant to store pretty much anything in. I would be happy to also add in some rails or anything the tenant needs us to sort of finish off in there. And I left it at that open space so they can tell us how they would like it finished.
It's clear Amir has accomplished what he set out to do here. A lot of work has happened since our first visit, but who gets the credit?
The only input I've really had on the property is basically the kitchen. I decided to go for a matte finish on the kitchen. Apart from that, I let the contractor sort of pick. He knows our style and what standard we want it to, and he just ran with it and got the job completed for us. For me, the reason this has been so good is I've worked with the right contractor from start to finish. I trust him implicitly, and he's completed the job and not caused me any problems.
Amir's initial budget was £16,000, but with a full rewire, new kitchen and bathroom, this ended up increasing to £22,000.
We actually spent a little bit more, and the reason behind that was down to me. That wasn't down to the contractor. I went for a higher quality kitchen finish, a better quality finish on the floors, and a better quality shower room than the last flat I did, so that's why the spend was more.
So will going for a higher quality finish have paid off? Let's find out. We've invited back the experts from our first visit to see what he makes of the changes.
I think the owner has done a terrific job with this property. I particularly like the open plan live-in kitchen area, which I think will be appealing to the rental market especially.
Amir has a total of £139,000 invested into this one-bed flat, and his intention has always been to rent it out. But if he were to sell, how much profit could he be looking at?
I believe they would achieve somewhere in the region between £165,000 to £170,000.
I'm very happy with the sale price of £170,000. With the development in the local area, I think holding the property for longer term, I'll only see that grow, so I'm very happy with that.
That top figure of £170,000 could give Amir a lovely pre-tax profit of £31,000. With Amir all set to add this place to his growing rental portfolio, how do those all-important rental figures sound?
I believe this flat would achieve around £900 to £950 per calendar month.
We've actually rented it to a tenant for £900, but I do believe £950 probably is the correct figure.
As Amir is already renting at £900 per calendar month, he's bringing in an impressive yield of nearly 8%. So what's next on his agenda?
I'm actually off to Turkey in 2 weeks, so I'm really looking forward to it, but I'm always looking for the next deal, so if you know anything, give me a call.
We now head 8 miles south of the Scottish border to Carlisle, home to the oldest and one of the biggest biscuit factories in the world, opening its doors in 1831. I'm in town to see an auction lot, but will this one take the biscuit?
I'm in this rather lovely part of Carlisle. This is a gorgeous, wide road lined with cottages and flowers. And the property I'm here to see is this. Oh my word, this 4-bed, substantial family house, as it's described in the auction catalogue, with adjoining cottage, which came with a guide price of £150,000 plus. It's amazing. Let's go look. Into a kind of vestibule area, which is fantastic to put up your coats before you walk into your living room. So fantastic proportions here. It is quite dated. You've got wood chip paper on the ceilings and textured wallpaper. But you know what? I'm being picky. This house is pretty pristine, really, just a bit dated. Towards the back of the house, and you have another living area, which is a bit more snug. Having seen the outside of this house and having just started the journey inside, I have the air of a small child who just wants to see more.
In all of the excitement, I've missed another reception room just behind me. A cosy little snug that leads straight out to the garden.
The kitchen, well, on the one hand, you might look at it and think, well, I expect something bigger and grander for a property like this. But I quite like it. There's a feeling of openness because there's an entrance, you can see the exit. And if you were thinking about taking down walls, well, you couldn't without permission because this is a Grade 2 listed building. Now, through to the exit, I think we're going to find our adjoining cottage.
Downstairs in the attached cottage is a garage, handy storage, and a utility room with a convenient downstairs toilet.
Upstairs in your adjoining cottage, you have quite a small room. Looks like it may have been used as a study. Ooh, and then through to something that looks like it could have been a workshop, but my, oh my, this place has an entirely different feel from the rest of the house because it feels damp, it feels neglected. It could be anything. It's extra space, it has potential, but this is where you need to do the work.
If you sort out the damp and show this additional cottage a little TLC, it could make a great annex for friends and family to stay in. Or, depending upon your plans for the place, there's potential to use this bonus space to make some extra rental income. I've headed back to the main house to see what's on offer on the first floor there.
Upstairs, and another treat. I love how much light is coming through, and the shape of this window is quite delightful. However, I happen to notice it is a UPVC double glazed window, and the auction catalogue tells us that the previous owner put this double glazing in without getting the required consent needed for a Grade 2 listed building. What does this mean? It means that the next owner is going to have to reinstate it with something more in keeping with this property. You know what? That's not going to be cheap. Upstairs to the bathroom, which actually isn't a bathroom, it's a shower room. There's no bath in there. You could do with a new bathroom suite. Through to a really nice size bedroom. And it's also got its own little ensuite shower room, which is perfect. It looks like something you'd find in a boutique hotel. It looks pretty new. I'd be keeping that.
Along with the master, there's another 3 bedrooms on the first floor. And up another flight of stairs, there is a great-sized attic space. This house is bursting at the seams with potential, but what about the garden?
Outside, you've got some lovely flagstones which make up a substantial patio area where you could have a barbecue, up some gorgeous stone stairs. Everything here is gorgeous. And then, this. It's secluded, it's walled, it feels so private. This place keeps on giving. It's actually really, really, really special.
Let's see if a local estate agent falls in love with this place as I have.
Initial impressions regarding the property are that it's a very attractive period home. It's got a fantastic large garden, which is rare for something so centrally located, and despite the decor being a little bit dated, it actually appears to be in pretty good condition throughout.
Does he think turning the annex into a separate property to rent or sell would be a viable option?
In terms of the former annex, I think it would be quite difficult to reinstate this, given that issues with the listing of the building might prove it difficult to get a separate access there. Incorporating that into the current property would serve better than losing some potential privacy by opening it up to an annex again, although it may suit for a dependent relative or older child.
If a buyer was to section the annex off from the main house, what could it achieve on the rental market?
For the rental of a small one-bed annex, you might be looking at something in the region of £350 per calendar month.
And the property as a whole, including the annex?
Once completed, I think the property would rent very well owing to the shortness of supply of larger family homes, and I think that the new owner could expect a rental of somewhere in the region of £1,000 per calendar month.
And on the sales market?
On completion of the property, it does very much depend on the standard it is finished to, but a sale price in the region of £350,000 or more could certainly be achievable, although that sort of figure is unprecedented for the street.
On paper, in the auction catalogue, this is a 4-bedroom, substantial house with adjoining cottage. But it's when you come to see it that you fall a wee bit in love with it, the feeling of this house. It could be so many things, but I'd love to see it restored to be somebody's dream home. Let's find out who else fell a wee bit in love with it when it went to auction.
This lot was sold at a remote property auction with online bids only.
Twice sold.
And the successful bidder who scooped the place up for £222,000 was first-time auction goer Cindy, accompanied today by Border Terrier Mac.
It makes me smile. Yeah, it makes me smile.
Cindy, pleased to meet you.
Hi.
Of all the properties I've seen on Homes Under the Hammer, this is easily top 5, like easily, I love it. So what's this for?
Yeah, our family home.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we have just moved to Carlisle, and we just thought we're just renting at the moment, and then we thought we're going to put down roots here. So,
Great.
yeah, this came up, and we thought we'll go for it.
And where have you moved from?
The Isle of Man. My husband got a job over here, so yeah, so we all moved over.
So when you saw this place, did you come to view it physically?
Yes, we did. And we thought it'd be lower ceilings. My husband's 6'3", so he was concerned that it would be very low for him. But no, went in and it was like, oh, okay, this is a lot bigger than we thought it was going to be.
Let's talk about the auction. So this had a guide price of £150,000 plus, and you got it for 222.
That's correct, yeah.
Were you happy with that?
Oh, yes. We did go over.
When you say you went over, what was your budget?
200.
200, so you went a bit over. Have you renovated property before? What's your background?
Yeah, Canterbury, we had like a cottage on just by the Westgate Towers, and we did a bit to that. And then we bought a beautiful Victorian townhouse that was student flats, and it was just a rabbit warren of little rooms, and we brought that back to being a family home. But it took us a long time because we did that ourselves. And we had a few trades in, but it took a very long time.
That's amazing. That would be hard work.
Yeah, it was. But this time, because Andrew's working away, we're going to have builders in, and I'll just project manage.
And it sounds like they're going to be very busy builders, as Cindy and husband Andrew have grand plans for their dream home. If they're granted planning permission, they want to remove the wall between the living room and kitchen to create a large dining kitchen area. They want to lose the annex stairs in order to create a bigger garage, and incorporate the top floor of the annex into the upstairs of the main house. They're hoping to turn the 4 bedrooms into 3 mega-sized ones, and will replace the shower room and bathroom. They'll also replace the PVC windows at the back with Grade 2 approved timber ones. To get it all done, they've set aside a hefty budget of £80,000 to £100,000 and a timescale of 7 months.
Even if they said no at planning, you can't take down walls, would you still be happy with this house?
Of course, yes. We just adapt, and we'll still make it our own, without a doubt.
It's so lovely to have someone who's so enthused about their dream home, and you love it, and I can't wait to see the results. Good luck.
Thank you.
I couldn't be happier that this is going to be the dream home for Cindy and Andrew, their son York, and don't forget little Mac. There's so many plans here to bring this to the next level, but it depends on whether they get the all-important planning permission, and that's never a given when it's a Grade 2 listed building. Will they do it within that budget? I just can't wait to see the results. It's going to be amazing. You can find out how they get on later in the show.
Well, we've still got to see how 2 property projects have turned out, so don't go anywhere.
Will our remaining renovators be quids in?
Yeah, or will they wish they hadn't bid at the auction? Let's find out.
Let's head back to Newcastle-Under-Lyme, where just outside the town centre, Tommy saw this 3-bed mid-terrace guided at £75,000. First impressions were a touch shaky, and inside told a similar story. Downstairs was sporting dated decor, damp, dry rot, and a dodgy-looking ceiling. But it was the layout of the bedrooms upstairs that really had Tommy scratching his head.
What's this? This can't be the 3rd bedroom. In actual fact, that looks like the wall in the main bedroom, the master bedroom, the first wall. So at one time, this must have been all one room, and someone's put that up to create this space. Very strange.
The curious configuration didn't put off buyer Indy, who paid £97,500 for it at auction. And while he had plans to put it right, they weren't entirely straightforward either.
I'm trying to convert it into two-bedroom flats. That's plan A. If he fails, then we will just refurb it to a good standard as a three-bedroom house.
For sale or for letting?
It's for sale, yes.
For sale?
Yeah, it might change depending on the valuation what we get from the bank.
Right.
And then we might refinance and move on.
So there's actually plan A, plan B and plan C?
Plan C, yes, maybe.
Yeah.
A trio of options meant varying budgets. Indy estimated £30,000 to £40,000 to turn the house into two flats, or a lesser £10,000 to £20,000 to purely renovate the existing layout. And with pals and a team of builders at the ready, anticipated needing just a couple of months once planning was approved to finish the job. So, did he manage it?
See, you're my unexpected answer. Could you be, will you be my song? I'll be your dancer.
9 months on, and the house has had a fresh, monochromatic makeover. But which of his plentiful plans did Indy go for?
Do you see, you're my unexpected answer.
Well, it's actually secret Plan D, as it's now unexpectedly a 4-bedroom HMO, or House of Multiple Occupation. Indy has reconfigured upstairs to create 3 bedrooms, each with access to its own WC. And he's converted the ground floor front room into bedroom number 4. So, what caused him to change his mind?
We converted into HMO because of their location. There's a lot of HMOs on this road, and the universities are not far from here. So after speaking to the local authorities, they gave a go-ahead straight away. They said, yeah, there'll be no problem. So we went down this route.
Indy is capitalising on the local market to hopefully increase his return. But something else that was increased was the couple of months he'd scheduled for the build. So what happened?
When we started this project, all of a sudden another project came up in Birmingham. But then this one was dragging on a bit. The builders, we got the first time, they had to leave. So then it got delayed again. But once we started, we completed in about 3.5 months.
Despite the delays, Indy came in on budget, spending £35,000 on all the work, including getting tradespeople in to rewire, replumb and replaster the house, as well as building partition walls and fixing broken roof tiles and a leaking chimney. But Indy also pitched in to keep costs down where he could.
My role was to clear the garden, fill the skips up, do all the hard labour, get some plaster off the walls and stuff like that, repair the kitchen, repair the bathroom, emptied it all myself. And then in the end, we done the decoration. My wife came and helped me as well in the decoration, so it was very nice of her.
Time to see if Indy and wife Kamaljeet's hard work has paid off. So we invited along a local estate agent to tell us what she thinks of the HMO. They've invested £132,500 in.
I think the finish of the property is really, really good. It's done to a very modern standard and it's very clean, bright and tidy. There's certainly a very, very high demand for properties like this at the moment because of its ideal location so close to the town and the local amenities.
Sounds promising. So how much return could Indy see if he were to put it on the sales market?
If we were to place this property on the market for sale, you'd be looking within the region of £165,000 to £170,000.
That's a good price in my eyes. I'm not surprised with the finish, that kind of value we're looking at anyway. I'm happy with that.
That could mean a pre-tax profit of up to £37,500. So what about those rental figures?
If the property was to be let out, you're going to be looking within the region of £90 per room per week. And with the addition of the 4th bedroom on the ground floor to the front of the property, you're looking approximately £1,400 per calendar month as a fully let property.
It's a good figure, but we have made our mind up. I think it's best for our business to sell it and move on to another project. It'll be good for the investor who buys it.
Yes, despite the impressive yield of almost 13% that this HMO could earn, Indy is opting to sell this one on and move on to his next project. So does he have any words of wisdom to aspiring developers out there wanting to follow his lead?
It's the reward at the end of it, so I always look at the end line. Whatever happens in between, it doesn't matter. That's what I focus on. So the end is good, everything's good.
Back now to Cumbria and the town of Carlisle, where there was something very special waiting for me. A very grand 4-bed house that was in need of modernisation, but it had the potential to be a perfect family home.
Having seen the outside of this house and having just started the journey inside, I have the air of a small child who just wants to see more.
But it wasn't all singing and dancing, as the property came with an adjoining former cottage in need of TLC.
Oh, and then through to something that looks like it could have been a workshop, but my oh my, this place has an entirely different feel from the rest of the house because it feels damp, it feels neglected, it could be anything, it's extra space, it has potential, but this is where you need to do the work.
Inside, this lot had a whopping floor space of over 189 square metres, and outside there was a beautiful, secluded garden.
This place is actually really, really, really special.
This unique lot was bought for £222,000, snapped up by Cindy and her husband, Andrew.
Of all the properties I've seen on Homes Under the Hammer, this is easily top 5, like easily, I love it. So what's this for?
Yeah, a family home.
Brilliant.
Yeah, we have just moved to Carlisle, and we just thought we're just renting at the moment, and then we thought we're going to put down roots here. So,
great.
Yeah, this came up, and we thought we'll go for it.
With Andrew working down south, Cindy was left to project manage the work on this Grade 2 listed building. Planning permission was always going to be tricky. They planned to knock down a wall to create a large kitchen diner, and in the former cottage, remove the current staircase and connect the workshop to the main house.
Even if they said no at planning, you can't take down walls, would you still be happy with this house?
Of course, yes. We just adapt, and we'll still make it our own.
They hoped the renovation would be complete in 7 months with a budget of £80,000 to £100,000. But we're back a year on and the work's still ongoing. Inside, the porch has been removed from the front living room and the walls have been stripped back to bare brick.
Break down the wall, a better life is waiting for you.
The wall into the kitchen is still yet to be knocked down, but planning permission has been granted to create a large kitchen diner, which will become the hub of the family home.
So you walk in and have a big kitchen, and obviously through to the dining room and through the French doors, going out to the courtyard.
Throughout, the house has been brought back to bare brick. Cindy had hoped to keep some of the original plastered walls, but sadly, this didn't go to plan.
I'd started stripping walls and I hacked away, shall we say, and then came in one day to see that the builder, which is perfectly fine, obviously was taking the plaster off the walls all back to the brick because, as he said, once they started, it was just crumbling. Just, you know, I had done this for months and months. But, you know, labour of love, so it's all good, heart and soul.
Open up your heart and your soul, 'cause if you're looking for something to love, you gotta let me know.
Upstairs, the builders have knocked through from the main house into the former cottage.
So this was the workshop, and it had a very low ceiling, and there was like a big rack hanging. We have taken down the ceiling and discovered this amazing beam, and we're thrilled, absolutely thrilled. So yes, this is going to be our master bedroom, and then just through here we've got a little bathroom. It's going to be my little bathroom, where I'm going to have a slipper bath. So yeah, it's all good.
Cindy and Andrew had originally intended to remove the stairs leading up to the workshop and create a new corridor, but the planning was refused as the stairs were original and part of the listed building. Instead, they've decided to link the workshop through to the old large bedroom, which is now going to be their dressing room. The old shower room and ensuite have been removed to create a large space for a family bathroom. The builders are doing the majority of the work here, but do the couple have any plans to get hands-on with the renovation?
Outside, we are going to be having to, well, we don't have to, but we want to repoint the whole of the back of the house. So my husband, Andrew, is retiring and he's going to be doing the whole of the back of the house.
As this is a Grade 2 listed property, there are tight restrictions on the work being carried out. The UPVC windows, which were installed by the previous owner, still need to be replaced. But Cindy has ordered timber frames, which will keep the planning officer happy. They also wanted to make the rooms downstairs double ceiling height, but planning was refused because of building regulations, as there would have been no space for a fire escape upstairs.
With the planning permission, we didn't get everything we wanted. We had huge, huge ideas for this house, but then thinking them through, they weren't actually going to work anyway. But sometimes when you have something like that to work around, you can come out with something a bit better, so, and maybe saved us some money as well, which is always good.
And speaking of money, how is their initial budget of £80,000 to £100,000 looking 12 months into the work on their new family home?
I think we've put in about 23,000, and that's for the builder giving him bits and bobs, you know, to keep him going. We said, what was it? Yeah, 80 to 100. I think is going to be definitely a lot more than that now. No, we're doing it right, and we're doing it for ourselves. Ideally, I'd like it to be finished in about 3 months. I would move in now with a little camping stove. But Andrew's being very sensible and saying, no, we should do it when it's all done, and then we know it's, you know, finished and we can just enjoy. But we'll see. We'll see. We'll see who wins on that one.
Let's see what an expert thinks of the work carried out so far. We've invited back the local estate agent who viewed this lot initially to get their thoughts and find out if Cindy and Andrew are on track to making a good investment.
I think the proposed changes to the layout that the owners are going to make, particularly opening up the kitchen to create a much larger, more modern feeling space, whilst retaining character of an older property, are definitely the right thing to do.
Good news! Although Cindy and Andrew plan to make this their family home, if they were to put it on the rental market, what would its value be?
Once the property is complete and finished, I would expect a rental value in the region of £1,500 per calendar month.
OK, I'm surprised. I'm very surprised on that one.
No wonder. That could mean an annual pre-tax income of £18,000. But have Cindy and Andrew added value for the sales market?
Once completed, the resale value could be anywhere upwards of £450,000.
OK, that's really blown my mind, actually. We didn't expect that at all. No. Oh, OK. Yeah, I've got a happy husband, I think.
Hopefully these values will give them the confidence to crack on with this renovation, and we can come back and see it when it's done. But what are Cindy's hopes for the future of their home?
Just as long as it's a happy home is really all we want.
Hopefully you've enjoyed today's stories, and perhaps we've given you some inspiration to get involved in property development yourself.
Or perhaps we've scared you off for good. Either way, we'll have more stories for you next time here on Homes Under the Hammer. And remember, you can also watch any time on BBC iPlayer. Just push the red button.